Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Baboom. I want to go over some very basic things about the hype that's around virtual reality (VR), and it's weird because what 20 more almost more than 20 years ago, VR was supposed to be this big thing, the next step into the future. You can experience anything with VR, and it never really got off the ground. Technology just couldn't really give it to you the way that you really wanted it to. It was just kind of putting a screen in front of your face, and it was a very expensive venture for a lot of people. So there wasn't really a market for it. So in this talk, I'm going to go over the market. I'm going to go over the people. I'm going to go over cost over quality. I'm going to go over applications. And then I'm also going to talk to you about immersion. Now, as far as the market goes, obviously there are people that want VR. Obviously, there are people out there that think it's just a fad. And yes, I can agree that VR in some aspects is definitely some sort of fad. But the thing is that developers, especially producers of products, they make money off of fads. So whenever a new fad comes around, they try and jump on it. They try and make a product that revolves around whatever the hot thing is at the time. And VR is, I guess, one of these newer hot things in the tech world. The thing is, though, is that there's not really a whole lot of people that can use it. You see, VR requires a lot of, I guess, CPU usage and stuff. Sure, you can try and make a VR headset that can sense motion, head tracks, and a whole bunch of other kind of stuff. But you need hardware that can match the capabilities of the headset, and not a whole lot of people can match that current market. So there is definitely a market for VR in the next 5-10 years maybe, but at the same time, you have to realize their systems need to come up to date. Otherwise, it's just going to be people using VR headsets, and well, they're going to have really low quality experiences. As far as actual quality of the products and then the cost of the products, that's a whole different thing, because now we're starting to see that this I guess movement has caused a boom in the tech world. All these different people are coming out with different kinds of VR headsets and announcing one. You got HTC announcing one. You got Sony that just came out with a $700 price tag headset. You got Oculus Rift being bought out by Facebook. Oh boy, there's just so many of them to look at, so many different things, and that's great. Competition is great for developing new tech. It's what keeps it going, because hell, you can't really afford any of the materials or the researchers or anything like that if there isn't some kind of competition and people are buying products. At the same time, though, you have to think about the quality of these products. And oh boy, some of them look really bad. I'll tell you, it's like we really are just stepping back into the past, and we're seeing a lot of VR headsets that just can't really keep up. Like, they're thinking that, oh wow, what, they just want a screen in front of their face again? Yeah, sure, we could do that. And it's like, no. You're missing what the consumer really wants. They want virtual reality. They don't just want a screen in front of their face. If they want just a screen in front of their face, then they'll duct tape a cell phone to their eyeballs, and that'll work. But sure, there are devs out there that don't listen to their community or fan base, so why not? Now, the applications of VR are, should be pretty obvious right now. Number one, of course, video games. Number two, you're going to have porn. Porn is always going to push something, which is very strange. You don't want to give credit where it's due, and believe it or not, I've seen it before. There are some really strange looking VR porn things out there, and it's mind-boggling how much research that they put into it. Like, I saw this one, like, I thought it was a joke at first, but it actually like it like massages and senses your size and all this other kind of stuff, and I'm just like, whoa, like what am I supposed to do with that? And it has handles on it, and it's rechargeable and cleanable, and it's supposed to be used with a VR headset and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, wow, like I wasn't really expecting something like that, but someone out there really developed it. Apparently there's a market for it. Someone out there really is gonna buy it, just like with sex robots someday. Why not? Geez, there's so many more applications other than video games and porn. You got medical. Imagine, instead of making someone operate on someone for real for the first time, like in case they have really bad jitters about something, they can go over a situation in a VR room. You make a really realistic program that I guess maybe could even contain scans of that person's body, and you can actually go through their body, make sure that everything's tip-top shape as far as your nerves go before you actually do the real thing. You can use VR to scope out a building before it's even built, to just put the plans in a like a program that can generate a 3D environment. Boom, you're walking around in the building. Speaking of walking around, there was this idea that's been going around where you can actually go into a virtual mall and look at virtual products. It definitely has a future. VR definitely has a future, but we have to be wary. We have to be careful, because there are going to be a lot of people that are going to take advantage of that, and they're going to come out with garbage, and then we're just going to be disappointed again like we were 25 years ago. Now, this one is a touchy subject. The actual idea and concept of what immersion is. Now, as far as immersion goes, you've heard this line hundreds of times from different devs and advertising and publishers, that a game is super immersive. Now, what does that mean? Immersive means that you are mistaking what you're seeing, at least in this sense. You're mistaking what you're seeing and hearing and feeling as your own reality. You are immersed into it. You are fully entrenched in this, and you can easily mistake it for your own reality. It's just that realistic. Now, the thing is when you're playing a video game, for instance, let's say you're walking in a virtual city, you're walking down the street and you see a flag waving in the wind, and you're like, oh yeah, I hear the wind, I see the flag blowing and all this other kind of stuff. You're getting there, you're kind of immersed, that's just your sight and sound taking the aspects of it taking over. But then you look down at the ground, right? And you see leaves as a texture on the pavement. Like, the leaves aren't actually moving or hustling and bustling or making crunching noises, and your brain immediately just goes, that's not real. Like, this is just a video game. I mean, sure, you already know it's a video game, but now a little bit of that immersion has been taken away because you're not experiencing what you normally would in real life. The trick with immersion is trying to perfect the action of tricking a person's brain. So here's my idea. Here's my theory, at least, that one of these days, immersion will become its own genre. Reality will become its own genre. It will no longer be about what you can do in the game, especially as far as like FPSs and puzzles and all this other kind of stuff. It's going to be how you experience the game. Immersion is going to be, the immersion genre is pretty much going to be, guys, check out our park simulator. I know this sounds really boring, but bear with me here. So now you have this dev that came out with Park Simulator, and all you do is walk around in a park, and they've done everything they possibly can to make this environment look and sound and feel realistic. You're walking around in it. The grass crunches while you walk. It actually moves underneath your shoes, like it bends. Mud has footprints and makes a splashing noise whenever you step in it, or the wind's blowing and the tree is slightly swaying to the wind and leaves are coming off of it every single time the wind blows. Just little things like that your brain notices on a day-to-day basis, but you never really think about it until all of a sudden it's gone. It's one of those strange things. You know that this should be going on. You know that this stuff should be going on, but it doesn't, and it takes away from your immersion. So now, subconsciously, you're like, no, none of this is real. So now you're going to have these devs try and make something that's just outright real. They're going to be trying to make another reality, and that's going to be a beautiful day when that becomes its own genre. Whew. Now, I'm going to go over a good idea of what a game that is immersive is. I mean, aside from the park one, like if you try and play games like Metro 2033 right now, that's probably a pretty good immersive game to pick out. The reflections are really well done. The shadows are really well done. People's faces and gear and equipment all make you think that is its own universe, and you can get really entrenched in it. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to like sell the game or anything. It's been out for quite some time now, but honestly, go watch some gameplay in HD. Make sure it's the highest thing that you can possibly witness, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. You're going to see that like little things they paid attention to, and that's what matters, because a lot of those little things in the environment really come together and make it shine. And that's when you're saying, wow, this looks amazing. Like that's when you say, wow, this is really good. So as far as VR is concerned, again, be wary. All right. There are going to be people that try and take advantage of you. There are going to be bad products out there, especially with the price tag. You don't want to just buy a VR headset right now. You don't want to overhype yourself for the Oculus Rift. It's a screen with a motion tracker on it. That's it. Like, there are a few games out there that have the option of turning on a VR headset, but don't go mind-boggling crazy over it, because it's not going to be something that entirely changes the experience. You're just going to be able to look around. That's it. You're going to be able to look around independently from where your mouse is. And speaking of mice, by the way, when the day and age for VR really starts coming around, we're going to have to get away from keyboards. We're going to have to get away from keyboards and mice. I want to see something more on the peripheral side as far as VR, because I know we have headsets down on lock. We got this, guys. Like, you don't need to keep coming out with headsets, but show me some type of like glove or hand scanner or something that pushes movement, like things that I can actually do in the VR environment. It's a little weird to see so much focus on headsets, and that's just not the only thing that makes up VR. And I do see some like development videos for different ways to handle hands and stuff like that, but they're not from these big time corporations that can really produce a product or really produce research and results. It's always coming from people like college students, or maybe like these really low Kickstarters that never get enough money and all this other stuff. And I don't even like Kickstarter, but good Lord, like, it's not just about the headsets that makes VR great. And I want that message to get out there. Don't get overhyped. Don't go super crazy. Just give it some time and obviously save your money. Thank you for listening.